Good evening and welcome to CVCA Livestream's coverage of CVCA Royals hockey. It's the start of the 22-23 hockey season, and today we are live this afternoon from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. My name's Tim Nichols, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to our coverage as we get the season underway. It's the final preseason weekend, and today's game is the third of four preseason scrimmages for the Royals, with the season opener just 9 days away. The Royals welcome Parma, the Redmen, to the Dan this afternoon for a preseason get-together. Before we get started, as always, we'd like to remind you that you can follow CVCA Livestream social media contacts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by looking for our social media handle at CVCA Livestream. When we last spoke to you nearly 9 months ago for a hockey game, the Royals had just notched a spot in the 2022 Barron Cup Finals. They would go on to a runner-up finish, losing in the final to Normandy, and the long path back to the Barron Cup begins each November. The two teams you'll see today both have hopes of hoisting the cup in February, but for now, both are working on replacing key departed members of their 2021-22 teams. The Royals have to replace scoring punch from and leadership from Jack Lamline, Luke Parada, and Caden Ballard, but the 9 newcomers from a year ago are a year older, and collectively we dubbed them the Swarm, and they're back and buzzing around already. CVCA put up 16 goals against an undermanned Nordonia squad on Tuesday night in a scrimmage. On the other side, Parma also looks to replace its two top scorers from a year ago as well. Gone are Ryan Myers and Raven Ignacio, but so far the results have been promising. The Redmen defeated Aurora last weekend 7-2, and they played last night at Kent, skating away with a 3-2 win against Roosevelt, the Kent Roosevelt Rough Riders. For Parma tonight, look for Nick Higginbotham to lead the charge, and Kyle Phillips will add physical presence for the Redmen as well. But Kalen Borowski is a late scratch for tonight's contest, and the senior will not play tonight. Clock is winding down, and we are getting ready for preseason hockey here from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. And we'll kind of talk through what to expect tonight. The game is a scrimmage, as we mentioned earlier. Therefore, while they will keep score, they will reset the scoreboard back to 0-0 at the end of each period. Period lengths are the normal 15 minutes, but today's game will not count in either team's season record. Redmen are coached by Joe Gaudino, who's a Parma graduate and has been behind the bench for the Redmen since 2001. He recorded his 250th career victory a year ago against CVCA. The assistant coaches for the Redmen are Rick Barron, Tim Hollow, and David Higginbotham. For the Royals, CVCA's head coach is Doug Fairchild, who's in his 15th year on the Royals bench, and he's assisted by Rich Hurdle and Mark Brower. The teams have gone to their respective benches, and we are just about to get underway. Once again, we're glad you've joined us. All the hockey games this season will be on the CVCA Athletic Boosters YouTube page, so if you found that page, we're glad. Royals taking the ice for the second time here this season. They had a preseason matchup last Sunday afternoon against Elyria Catholic, a game the Royals skated away with a 6-0 victory. Royals will go right to left on the screen tonight, and the Redmen go left to right. Nick Humphrey, the captain this season for CVCA, takes the face-off, and we are underway with hockey in 2022 and 2023. The Royals push it into the offensive zone, and right away, trying to pressure, shot, and a save. Cord Steigmeyer in there. The puck is loose. It comes out to the slot. Zach Nichols fires and hits the crossbar. So the Royals with pressure to get out of the gate and start tonight. So, Parma pushes it up ice. Andrew Baran pushes it in deep. Nichols pushes it to the side, and in on it is Kyle Phillips. Phillips pushes it back around, and it comes out. And to the Royals. Up ice it comes. Zach Nichols pushes it in for CVCA, the senior. Nichols sees Victoria Wessel on the puck. Parma, their second night of 3 straight games this weekend. Again, the Redmen last night in action against Kent Roosevelt. Royals push it in, shot, and a save by Sagayak. The goaltender, Andrew Sagayak, for Parma. Sagayak is a senior this year, a 3-sport athlete, soccer and tennis, his other sports. Sagayak in net once again for the Redmen this year. The Redmen last year made it to the Barron Cup semifinals and almost took out Normandy, who was the eventual Barron Cup champion. There's a shot by CVCA, and it's another save by Sagayak as the Redmen push it back out. And for the Royals, it's Ben Wilford who's on it. Pushes it up ice, and it's out of the zone for just a moment. And the teams battle for it at center ice and scoots in. Chasing after it for the Royals is Jacob Schwartzbeck. It gets knocked back out, and the Royals will try and push it on out. With it for CVCA is Carter Martin. He pushes it up ice, and the Royals gain the zone, but not before. Offsides is called, and we're underway, as we said, just under 2 minutes into the 2022 season opener for CVCA live stream. The third scrimmage of 4 for each of these teams before the season gets underway in earnest next week. Face off on the far side. Nick Humphrey takes it for the Royals and pushes it into the zone. Now he sets chase after it and pushes it in deep. Humphrey to David Siff. They're pushed off the puck, but it comes back to Humphrey at the dot. Shot goes wide on the far side. Mark Mosher has it. He pushes it back in deep toward the goal. Backhanded shot is covered up by Sagayak, and the Royals force a face-off in the offensive zone for the Redmen. We're saying the Redmen last year made it to the Barron Cup semifinals and had a lead on Normandy in the third period before it got away from them. A game that went back and forth, and these two teams would have seen each other in the final had the Redmen been able to pull that out. They did not. And Normandy raised the cup last winter in February. Puck is in deep, far side boards. Schwartzbeck pushes it back in deep. He's looking for 51. That's Chidima. He's had a handful of goals, as have all the Royals, it seems, with 16 goals in their last matchup against Nordonia, who's one of the developmental teams from what is this year the Blue South. On the puck for the Redmen is Kyle Phillips. Pushes it around and out, and Zach Nichols will retrieve it for the Royals. Nichols loses it. It goes forward, and the Royals knock it back out, and they'll get a change. Pushing it into the zone is Michael Otto. For the Royals, pushing it around is Carter Martin. It comes out slowly. Matthew Porter clears the zone, but just for a moment, Otto pushes it back in, and CVCA's Martin collects it, pushes it up ice, and dumps it in on Sagayak's goal, and he covers it up with Cord Steigmeyer and Matthew Porter zooming in on him. Clock stops, 11:51 to go. Just underway, first period action, no score from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. It was an effort to get on the air tonight, and if you are along with us, we're glad you are. The graphics package didn't work today. Shot for CVCA goes wide. As we were saying, the graphics package did not work, so we've got the clock up, and we'll try and keep you abreast of all the goings-on as CVCA pushes it back in deep once again. Victoria Wessel is on it for the Redmen. She's briefly dispossessed, and the puck squirts to the far side where Matthew Porter is after it. Kept in by CVCA at the top and dumped in closer. Wilford and Steigmeyer pushes it in on Sagayak, who kicks it to the near side. Steigmeyer keeps it in on the near side boards, has it, circles the high slot and to the far side. Still with it, Sagayak into the circle, shoots, and it goes wide. Martin dumps it back in deep. Finds Steigmeyer, drops it off for Wilford, who shoots, and it goes wide once again. A lot of bodies between that shot and the goaltender. In deep, CVCA pressuring. The puck is still loose, and off to the near side it goes. Big hit, and it squirts out of the zone and down the ice. And we've got a stoppage. Whistle blows. And the call appears to be icing on the Redmen. So we mentioned that Caleb Borowski is a late scratch for tonight's game. Borowski for the Redmen played last night. He's actually the leading returning scorer for Parma this season. A senior, so the stoppage was not icing. They bring the faceoff out to the center ice dot. Maybe an inadvertent whistle, perhaps. No one in the box. So we'll face off with 10:47 to go here in the first period. Still waiting for the first score. The Royals had a lot of pressure, but nothing to show for it so far. Mark Mosher, far side. And it's knocked back around, and CVCA's on it near side. Pushes it up ice. It's tipped. They should wave off icing. Sagayak touches it. Zooming in on it for CVCA is Schwartzbeck. Around the boards it goes, far side, he's looking for outward. Up ice and not able to keep it in is Mosher, who chases after it. Mosher has it, D to D, looking for Zach Nichols. He's got it, pushes it up. Schwartzbeck off the boards further. It's knocked back, and CVCA will recover. Jared Schwartzbeck, is on it. Pushes it forward and finds a teammate, and the Royals break out. Into the offensive zone comes CVCA. Shot is wide off the stick of Noah Chidima. Another shot. Schwartzbeck saves the guy. The puck is loose and squirts through the painted area. Off to the far side it goes. Behind the net. CVCA recovering. And a big pile up in front of the goaltender. Shot and a score! Jacob Schwartzbeck gets the first goal of the afternoon for CVCA. Lots of traffic in front of Andrew Sagayak, and the goaltender for the Redmen screened on that one. It got by him, and the Royals lead it 1-0. Schwartzbeck found the loose puck on his blade and fired it toward the goal and beat the goaltender for the Redmen. 1-0 CVCA. Back underway. Mosher pushes it up ice. Nick Humphrey gains the zone again for the Royals. Shoots, and it's wide of the goal. Pushed up, not able to keep it in is Mark Mosher. Mosher pushes it off the far side boards. Humphrey collects it once again, leaves it for Steigmeyer, and a late whistle. They're going to get offsides as Humphrey was in the zone too soon. Puck was in behind him, and they'll have a face-off on the far side dot in front of the Parma Redmen bench. It is a cold rink here at the Dan Kostel Rec Center as we look across the ice. Head coach Joe Gaudino in shirt sleeves. So not affected by the cold. Here comes the Royals once again, centering and missing on the pass are the Royals, but they keep it in. Martin centers again, looking for Humphrey. It's off his blade, up and kept in by Martin briefly. He battles and still keeps it in. Martin into the circle, trying to shoot. It's poke checked away from him. David Siff back to Martin, in deep. Martin behind the goal. CVCA setting up, looking. Steigmeyer, up ice. Martin shoots and kicked aside by Sagayak. Into the corner. Siff, Steigmeyer. Trying to get control. He does. Steigmeyer looks. Cross ice pass. Far side shot off the outside of the net for CVCA. Looked like that might have been Humphrey. And the Royals control it once again. It is Nick Humphrey. Humphrey up to Martin. Martin fires it. Save on the first shot. Second shot is pushed aside, and we got pushing and shoving in front of the goal. And into the goal goes CVCA player. Might be Cord Steigmeyer. And we'll see what the assessment is on this as Steigmeyer heads to the bench along with the rest of that shift for the Royals. And one player, number 20 for the Redmen, goes into the box. That is Justin Myers, another of the seniors for Parma. And the Royals will go on the power play. The other night against the Nordonia Knights, again, a developmental team from the Blue South that CVCA played, the Royals were excellent in every phase of the game except for the power play. And so they needed to work on that. We'll see if they've had any success on that as they get their first opportunity here today with a 5-on-4 advantage. Dropping the puck down, and a shot is blocked immediately and cleared out. Down the ice, Mark Mosher will have to chase it. And it's slow. Mosher does get to it. One of the speediest players on the CVCA team. And the Royals break out through the neutral zone and pushed in. Matthew Porter dumps and chases Victoria Wessel, gets to it first, but can't do much with it. It's up ice, and the Royals' Chidima has it. Chidima now sets it up, centers, looking for a teammate there. That teammate was outward. Now Nichols tries to keep it in and can't, and he's in a chase. Nichols gets knocked off the puck, and a shot and a save, the first of the afternoon for Caleb Mosher, a shorthanded bid that time by Kyle Phillips, number 11. Phillips, the senior, for the Redmen. Parma A bittersweet season this season. It's the last season for the Parma Redmen. If you've been following local coverage in the news in Northeast Ohio, you know that the Parma School Board has decided to close down Parma High School at the end of this school year. There are 3 schools in Parma: Normandy, Parma, and Valley Forge. And this storied hockey program is embarking on its final season in the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League and anywhere else for that matter. So the Redmen and their loyal fans and storied program looking to have a great 22-23 season. Meanwhile, they're looking to try and stave off this power play opportunity for CVCA as the Royals control with a minute remaining on the puck. Martin fires in, it's knocked down in front and cleared down the ice. The race is on for it for the Royals. Ben Wilford is to it first. And CVCA pushes it up, and it's going to be icing on the Royals as they could not connect in the neutral zone. And they wave it off, actually. So Victoria Wessel is on it, and she ices it down the length of the ice, and Wilford on it once again. Wilford dumps it behind the net, but cannot get to a teammate. And one of the Redmen is knocked down. Now CVCA will move out. They've got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Here comes CVCA into the offensive zone, and offsides. Nick Humphrey had it, but on the far side, just a little too eager, was one of the Royals, and it was Cord Steigmeyer. So 21 seconds remain on the power play opportunity for CVCA. The penalty to Justin Myers will expire at the end of that 21 seconds. The face-off right in front of Myers, and it's controlled by the Redmen. They dump it in. Nichols tries to knock it down. It goes behind the net and around the boards. For CVCA, it's knocked out by Matthew Porter, but Parma does control with 6 seconds left, and they ice it one final time, and that's going to do it for the power play opportunity. In on it for the Redmen is Andrew Baran. Baran and Nichols come together in the near side corner. Both teams back to full strength, and it's dug out by Baran. He centers, and it's over the bouncing puck over the stick blade of Kyle Phillips back deep into the Royal zone. Pushed in deep by the Redmen by Andrew Baran. Played by the goaltender. Nichols battles and dumped around the boards to David Sipp. He'll try and move on out for CVCA. Long pass looking for Schwartzbeck, the goal scorer. He gets to it. Schwartzbeck with pressure from Allison Callahan. It goes around the boards to the far side. Kept in by CVCA in the circle and poke checked away, and the Redmen will break out with it. Shot is knocked down to the near side. CVCA corrals it, leading 1-0. First period action in the third of 4 scrimmages. It's in deep. Nick Humphrey chases after it. He's going to get to it first. Nick Humphrey with the puck. Humphrey skates, fires, and a save by Andrew Sagayak. 5:23 to go, first period. Face-off will be to the right of Andrew Sagayak. Nick Humphrey will take it for the Royals. It's dropped down, and one back to CVCA's Steigmeyer. Poke checked, and the puck squirts to the far side, and a hooking call is going to go on CVCA, it looks like. And for the first time today. Or will it? It's actually going to go on the Redmen. So the Royals will go right back on the power play, and right back into the box goes number 20, Justin Myers, who just got out from his previous penalty. So Myers back in, and the Royals will have another 2-minute power play opportunity with 5:14 to go here in period number 1. Humphrey will take it to the far side. It's one down. Siff has it. Siff is knocked down. Into the far corner. On it is Nicholas Higginbotham. Higginbotham controls and will break up the ice. Higginbotham fans on that one as the stick was lifted, but it still is pushed in on the goal, and a save. Oh, a late hit on the goalie by number 9, Andrew Baran, as it was covered up and a whistle blew by Caleb Mosher, and Baran letting Caleb Mosher know that Parma's here to play. And a correction, it's Karsten Hauk in goal today for CVCA, so my apologies. Hauk getting the start. Hauk the senior for the Royals. Mosher on the bench tonight, at least in the first period. Face-off is dropped down. And the Royals gain the zone of the power play. Shot goes wide of the goal. Schwartzbeck chasing, can't get to it. It's pushed back around. Kept in by Wilford. He shoots, knocked down in front. Chidima pushes it far side. Schwartzbeck chases. He pushes it back toward Chidima. He'll chase it and into the corner. No pressure. He's got time and he'll collect it. Up to the top, but it's intercepted by the Redmen. And Wilford poke checks it away, and Chidima's on it once again. Royals playing with only 4 defensemen tonight. Eli Parada unwell tonight, and a shot goes and kicked aside by Sagayak. Kept in by Martin. Martin now pushed off the puck, and it's still kept in by the Royals. It squirts far side. Shot is knocked down in front off the stick of Outward, and finally the Redmen clear the zone. Wilford, again getting playing time, maybe more than he might normally get, with Parada unavailable. And Hauk covers the puck. He's got to play it, pushes it to far side. Still 32 seconds to go on the power play opportunity for the Royals. Poke checked away at center ice, and Matthew Porter pushes it up. And the Royals will gain the zone. Shot and offsides. Once again, Nick Humphrey the culprit that time. And just like the last penalty, 21 seconds remain on the power play. And the face-off will be right in front of the Parma bench and Justin Myers. Check that, they move it to the near side, so it'll be right below us. They drop it down, sticks are on the ice, the Royals control. It's David Siff. Siff circles back and he'll set things up. Siff, cross-ice pass, and into the zone it goes. Humphrey chases after it, he'll get it behind the net with 9 seconds left to go on the power play opportunity. Near side corner, Humphrey has it. Nichols back to Humphrey. Humphrey at the top of the circle. Skates in a bit deeper. Shot is kicked aside. Siff has it. And we're back to full strength for both sides. Siff behind the net. Humphrey. And a shot. Score! Nick Humphrey to Matthew Porter, who had an open net, just poked it in. And Matthew Porter puts the Royals up 2-0. 3:05 to go. An even strength goal for Porter. A beautiful feed from Nick Humphrey behind the net as the Redmen were just getting back to full strength. Understand we've had some issues with the clock camera. We've had a lot of issues today, so we're just glad to be able to get on the air. First stream of the year. We'll tell you that there's 3:05 to go and the Royals lead 2-0. First period action. Once again a scrimmage, so they'll reset the scoreboard at the end of the period, but rest assured the players and everyone else is keeping score. Royals leading 2-0. And looking for more as they cross center ice and dump it in deep into the corner, and chasing after it is Outward. Outward controls, centers up to the point and out of the zone. Wilford couldn't keep it in. Wilford finds Martin. Martin fans on it, gets it back. Martin cross ice, finds a teammate. Into the zone, the Royals gain. Shot is knocked down. Chidima centers cross ice. Oh, and Outward with a chance. And the goal is off its moorings. The first touch that time for Outward, I believe it was. Check that, it was Schwartzbeck. Couldn't get the blade down in time. He had an open net for just a moment, but the goaltender, Sageg, ranged over and was able to stop it. So there's 2:25 to go. Again, apologies for the clock camera struggling, but we'll call that timeout for you. 2:25 to go, first period. Royals up 2-0. Puck is kept in by Martin, but only briefly. It's poke checked out, but CVCA, Martin is back on it. Pushes it up ice and looking for Humphrey. Humphrey is on it and gains the zone. He's got a shot wide and the net goes. He had Cord Steigmeyer available to him. Now Steigmeyer retrieves the puck. Minute 55 to go. Steigmeyer stood up at the blue line. CVCA, Martin has it. Martin looking, and cross-ice pass finds the zone. Steigmeyer again. Poke checked away from him, and a pirouette, and Steigmeyer is leveled. Clean hit. Cord spinning around, and like a top was leveled to the ice. That one was deflected, so there's no icing. Into the zone it goes. Porter, the goal scorer of the last goal, after it, can't get there in time, but Martin keeps it in. Martin, shot and a save. Sagayak has it and covers with 1:21 to go. CVCA 2, the Redmen from Parma nothing. $1:21 to go, first period. Shot for the Royals, and Sagayak knocks it into the rafters. It'll get another face-off. We mentioned that the Redmen are playing without their leading returning scorer, Caleb Borowski, a defenseman tonight. They are also playing without Derek Pierce, a sophomore, who did well his freshman season last year. So both teams a bit undermanned tonight, as CVCA cannot keep that in. Actually, they do. Mosher, and it's pushed forward. Mosher again, and this time it's poked out, and chasing after it is the Royals outward. It's back to Nichols, back up to Outward. Outward has to wait as the Royals were offsides. Nichols gains the zone, and he stood up, and it trickles back out. So 51 seconds, and now CVCA is on it. Chidima shoots, and it's knocked away. Rebound shot is saved by Sagayak a second time before Noah Chidima could get in there with chance number 3. It has been a firing range in front of the Parma goaltender in this first period, and a quiet first period for Karsten Hauk on the other side. During the first intermission, we'll regale you with some updates on the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League and the format for this season, as the Redmen clear the zone, but the Royals right back after it. Humphrey and Steigmeyer side by side. Humphrey has it into the corner with 32 seconds left. Nick Humphrey challenged by Andrew Lane, and Lane pokes it forward and clears the zone. Down the ice it goes, and it will be icing on the Redmen as Lane knocked it off the boards and all the way down the ice. There are 19.7 seconds to go in period number 1. Goal scorers for CVCA, number 2, Jacob Schwartzbeck, and number 4, Matthew Porter. Nick Humphrey will take this face-off to the right of Andrew Sagayak. And the Redmen win this one, and they do not clear the zone, at least not immediately. Finally poking it out. Steigmeyer is on it with 13 seconds to go. Looks for David Stiff. Stiff pokes it forward to Nick Humphrey. His first touch is not good. Pushed to the far side boards with 5 seconds left. Stiff tries the center, looking for Humphrey, but that's going to do it in first period action. We played one in the scrimmage on a Friday night from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. And the score at the end of the first period, CVCA 2 and Parma nothing. So as we reach the end of period number 1, they'll clear the ice as both teams head to their respective locker rooms at the Dan Kostel Rec Center. 10 minutes in between periods. And we'll take a look at the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League divisions for 2022-2023. And you'll see that unlike years past where there was a Blue North and a Blue South division, this year in the Blue division of the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League, there are actually 3 divisions: the Blue East, the Blue West, and the Blue South. So the Royals this season will play out of the Blue East division, and they'll play round-robin games with their opponents, and they will be Canfield, Chagrin Falls, Kent Roosevelt, NDCL, and Orange. So the Royals very familiar with a number of those teams. Canfield, they've played more than any other team in the history of Royals hockey, and that will continue this season. Chagrin Falls, the team the Royals defeated last season to make it to the Barron Cup final, that win the very exciting game in the Barron Cup semifinal a year ago. Kent Roosevelt playing down in the Blue division for the first time maybe ever. Roosevelt has seen their program drop to a blue level team. The Royals have actually never ever beaten Kent Roosevelt. Last year they tied Roosevelt for the first time ever. They'll get a number of opportunities in December to play Roosevelt, both in round-robin tournament in the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League. The Royals also competing in a pair of Roosevelt tournaments, the Hamilton Memorial Tournament, which is the tournament that is named in honor of the Kent Roosevelt, former player who gave up his life in service to our country, and always a great time to celebrate him, and especially today on Veterans Day. And we want to wish a special thank you to all of our veterans who might be watching today. So the Royals will play in the Roosevelt Hamilton Memorial Tournament. A couple of weeks later, the Royals will play in the Roosevelt Holiday Tournament as well. So a pair of tournaments down at the Kent State University Ice Arena, and at least 4 opportunities to play Roosevelt this year. NDCL is a team that the Royals have played a number of times in years past, and the last team, the Orange Lions, who have been a white team the last couple of years, but the Royals are still familiar with orange from a number of times where the Lions have participated in the CVCA Holiday Tournament. So those 6 teams will play round robin. The top 3 teams in the division will make the Barron Cup this year, as will the top 3 teams in the Blue West Division. And the Parma Redmen, as you see the opponent tonight here for CVCA, in the Blue West Division, and that division made up of Cleveland Heights, Elyria Catholic, who the Royals saw last week here on the Dan Kostel Rec Center and defeated in a scrimmage by a collective score of 6-0. Lakewood, who played up last year. Lakewood had a great team a couple of years ago. Last year played up in the white and took their lumps, and are back down in the blue this year. So Lakewood, the Rangers. The Normandy Invaders, the defending Barron Cup champions in Barron Cup 3. But Normandy has to move on this year without Logan George, who has graduated, and so they'll have to rebuild that program. It's always a good battle whenever CVCA and Normandy come together. And of course, Parma and Normandy, a great rivalry as well, as they share the school system, and they'll get opportunities to play each other this year as well. So the Redmen, and then last Westlake, also in the Blue West this season. And so the top 3 teams out of the Blue West will also make the Barron Cup. The 4th place teams in each of the East and West divisions will play in a playoff game in February, with the winner of that game being the 7th team to make the Barron Cup 3 tournament. And then last but not least, the winner of the developmental Blue South division will be the 8th seed in the Barron Cup this season. And the teams in the Blue South this season are Bay, Brecksville, Brooklyn, Mayfield, Nordonia, and Twinsburg. Again, Nordonia, the Royals saw on Tuesday night, and it was a lopsided affair. 1-1 midway through the first period, and then a floodgate open, and the Royals scored the next 15 goals, 16-1 collectively against Nordonia, who actually was the champion of the Blue South Division a year ago. Twinsburg on the schedule again at least one time, and I believe they will probably participate in the CVCA Holiday or Christmas tournament as well. And the Royals will see Nordonia, as we talked about a moment ago, at least one more time. Both of those teams participating in the Martin Luther King Day tournament over in Parma in January. So that is your Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League Blue Division lineups for the 2022-2023 season. And now we'll take a look at the Royals' schedule, a very robust schedule this season. And you see that there are 32 slots here. There are actually more than 32 games. So CVCA playing Parma this afternoon in their 3rd of 4 scrimmages. And then on Sunday afternoon, they will play Avon and get a look at a team that has traditionally played in the red division. Avon, I believe, is playing in the white division this year, so a division up from CVCA, so a step up potentially in competition. But Avon taking a step down, I believe, this season. And then the season gets underway in earnest for real 1 week from Sunday, when the Royals travel to the Pond and take on Chagrin Falls in a rematch of that Barron Cup semifinal. And they get started right out of the gate in Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League Blue East divisional play. After that, North Olmsted is on the schedule in the first of the tournaments of the year. That will take place over in Parma. That's the Anderson Memorial, rather that's a game that will take place over there. Then the Anderson Memorial Tournament happens on Thanksgiving weekend. And then another chance to play Kent Roosevelt in December, Canfield, Parma again, Solon. And on it goes. Kenston on the schedule, a team that has traditionally been one of the more powerful teams from one of the higher divisions. A couple more Roosevelt games, NDCL Whitmer in December. Bishop Watterson, the Red Rider Holiday Tournament, Twinsburg, the CVCA Christmas Tournament, and we'll see if we can get those games on the air for you again. Always a fun time between Christmas and New Year's. And then into January, Orange, Western Reserve Academy, the Martin Luther King Tournament in Parma, a trip to Canfield, Aurora, NDCL, Orange, Roosevelt one more time, and wrapping up the regular season with Chagrin Falls. After that, it'll be Barron Cup time, and hopefully the Royals will be able to qualify and be one of those top 3 teams this season. And following that, there is word that the Royals may be traveling north of the border for the first time in 3 years, with the pandemic finally behind us and the borders open. CVCA traditionally has taken a trip to Canada, and after the Barron Cup, after the state tournament, it looks like CVCA will wrap up its season with a trip into the City of Hamilton Christian Tournament that takes place with a host of Christian schools up in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada in late February. So that's a look at the Royals' schedule for this coming season. Once again in the first period, that first period was 2-0 CVCA. The goal scorers for the Royals. The first one, Jacob Schwartzbeck, who beat Andrew Sagaik from the slot. And then a tip-in by Matthew Porter on a great feed from Nick Humphrey behind the net. 2-0 CVCA at the end of the first period. They will reset, and actually have already done so, the clock and the scoreboard to 0-0 once again in the second period. So we mentioned it before as we talked about the tournament down at Kent Roosevelt, but Veterans Day upon us, and we want to say a special thank you to all of our veterans. If you're watching and you've served in our armed services or you're serving today, we can't say thank you enough to you for your service to our country. Thank you to all of you on this Veterans Day 2022. You're tuned into CVCA Royals Hockey, the first broadcast of the year, and it was a scramble to get on the air today with the gremlins in the graphical system, which we didn't get up and running. We'll work with our supplier on that and see if we can get that corrected as the season continues. And then in addition, just getting up on the air for the first time and knocking out the cobwebs on our equipment. It's a different set of equipment than we use for football. But we're glad that we finally made it on the air just before the game started. And we're glad you're with us. We will have all the home games this season or at least we plan to have all the home games for CVCA hockey from the Dan Kostel Rec Center here in Garfield Heights, which is serving as the Royals' home ice for the 3rd season in a row. Once again, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and on Instagram to get all the updates on when our broadcasts will be. The social media handle is at CVCA Livestream. In addition, you'll want to follow the CVCA Athletics sites on the internet as well. The Royals Facebook page, as well as their Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts. Sports Information Director for CVCA does a great job keeping that up to date. Ben Miller, always doing a fantastic job for the Royals in the SID department. Teams making their way back onto the ice, or at least onto their benches. 15 minutes is back up on the clock. They'll switch sides, so the second period will be the long change period. Andrew Sagaik leads his team back onto the ice, and he'll man his spot. He was busy in the first period as he moves over to the far end of the ice. And Karsten Hauk getting the start today for the Royals. And apologies to Carson. We assumed it was Caleb Mosher in goal at the start of this game, but it was Karsten Hauk, the senior for the Royals today, getting the start. Friday night hockey from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. Wherever you are, in Northeast Ohio or throughout the United States following along, we're glad you're with us once again. The Royals will go left to right during this second period. CVCA wearing the black shells, white tops with the royal blue numeral. Period number 2. They drop the puck down and the Redmen control, but only for a moment. Kicked ahead by Nick Humphrey and into the zone. Steigmeyer has it. Steigmeyer stick handle and has it taken away. It's pushed up, but it's knocked away, and the Redmen clear the zone. Karsten Hauk has to kick it away, and Mark Mosher sweeps it to the near side boards in the corner. Mosher tries to set out with it, out to center ice in the neutral zone. Controlled for a moment, but then lost by Parma, and Nick Humphrey gets dumped. No call. The Royals. Now the Redmen break out. Back checking by CVCA, and that was David Siff who pushes it back in. Neither team able to control too much here early in the second period. Mark Mosher pushes it in deep for the Royals, who have to clear the zone, and they get a change. And Victoria Whistle is on it. Whistle pushes it up, but it's knocked aside toward Sagayak, and he sees number 24, Jared Outward, bearing down on him, and he covers up with a minute 1 second period. And he'll force a face-off to his right. Noah Chidima will take it for the Royals. To his right is Jacob Schwartzbeck, Jared Outward, Martin, and Wilford out there for the Royals. Behind the net, Chidima chases to the far side corner. Candle and has it taken away by Wessel. She heads up the ice and he's back checking. CVCA's on it, but turns it over. Cannot clear the zone. Centering pass, but no one there. But Martin for the Royals sends it up. Schwartzbeck. Schwartzbeck cross ice to Chidima. Chidima shoots and knocked aside by Sagayak. Taken away by CVCA once again. Chidima fires again, and a glove save by Sagayak and a whistle. As again, he had Jared Outward right there on the doorstep. Just one change for the Redmen, full sail change for CVCA. On comes Victoria Whistle, and off the ice goes Nick Higginbotham. Out to center ice. Zach Nichols is on it for CVCA. Has time, looks and finds Humphrey. Humphrey, without any resistance, into the zone. Skates in, shoots, sharp angle shot, and a save by Sagayak. Nick Humphrey, one of the few Royals who has not yet scored among the forwards this preseason. Nick Humphrey coming off a full football season. Well, the CVCA Royals season ended about a week ago, actually 2 weeks ago tonight, in the playoffs. And Humphrey manned the defensive line for CVCA on the football team, so just getting his hockey legs under him. CVCA controlling. Humphrey has it once again. Skates to his left. Fires, gets it on goal. Second shot is score. The goal by number 41, David Siff. Nick Humphrey set that up. Got a shot backhanded off the goaltender. Rebound was there, and Siff pounced on it and just over the shoulder of Andrew Sagayak for the goal. Time of the goal, 2 minutes, 15 seconds of the second period, and the score in period number 2 is the Royals 1, Redmen nothing. Again, as they reset the scoreboard in goal of the day, though, for CVCA. And the Redmen have yet to solve or even pester Karsten Hauk a great deal. Royals win the faceoff, look up, and push it through the zone. Chidima gains the zone, but has it poke checked away, and the Redmen clear for the moment. Back on it is CVCA once again. Whoa! And up ice, Chidima pushes it in, intercepted by Higginbotham, who sends it up, and it's going to be icing against the Redmen. 12:18 to go. Face-off will come to the left of Andrew Sagayak. And Cord Steigmeyer will take it for the Royals. Wins it back, but it's controlled by the Redmen. Michael Otto gets it to center ice. Carter Martin pushes it back forward into the zone, but the Redmen have it. but only for a moment. It's corralled by Steigmeyer, who gains his own, skates in, shoots, and over the goal. His own puck as he chases it. Siff now behind the net, controls. Siff with it, looking, tries to center. It's knocked down. He pushes it back in deep and cycles it back down low to Steigmeyer. Humphrey can't get a stick on it. Now he does. Humphrey pushes it back into the corner for Siff. Siff without a lot of pressure behind the net, and then back towards Siff, but it misses, and the Redmen try and clear the zone. They do. Siff will battle in the neutral zone. Justin Sagayak, brother of the goaltender, giving some battle there. Oh, a turnover and a shot. Save. And then goal is in the net, but the whistle blew. Karsten Hauk made the save. Redmen thought there was a loose puck, and they battled and dug it out and put it in behind Hauk, but the hands were up by the referee, so no goal. A really bad turnover that time by Ben Wilford gave an opportunity to the Redmen, but Karsten Hauk was able to stop the shot, and the referee is determined that he had it covered up sufficiently and stopped playing. They drop the puck down, and another backhanded shot, and Hauk kicks it aside. Karsten Hauk for CVCA signed his letter of intent to play lacrosse as a goaltender for the University of Mount Union 2 days ago. As cross-ice pass, nice pass by Chadima looking for Jacob Schwartzbeck off the shoulder of the goaltender Sagayak, and a stoppage. So as we were saying, Karsten Hauk will play goaltender at Mount Union in his college career. He's a goaltender in 3 different sports. Soccer, picked up hockey 2 years ago, so it's his 3rd year in net for the Royals. And also lacrosse. Had a really good season last year for the Royals lacrosse team. Shot is knocked down in front by CVCA. Backhanded chance is pushed up to Mosher, who knocks it back in, deflected by Porter. And now kicked up to Nichols, who fires, and it's wide of the net. For a moment, the Redmen clear the zone. Mosher, though, pushes it back in. The Royals get onside. And it's pushed up and delayed offside once again for CVCA. Royals still offside and having to clear the zone, and finally do. And now they'll get pressure to the neutral zone and pushed in deep. They'll wave off icing, and Zach Nichols will chase it for CVCA. Nichols with some pressure, pushes it up, looking for Siff and finds him. A nice pass and nice collection by Siff. They gain the zone. Steigmeyer stick handles around one to Siff, gets it back, shoots, and it goes behind the net. Another shot is covered by Sagayak. So the Royals' pressure continues in waves today. You would think that it might be a little bit different if Caleb Borowski were in uniform tonight for the Redmen. Having said that, though, the Royals' depth, especially of that sophomore class with all the returnees, the swarm as we call them, is just speedy. And they come at you in waves, as we said, and that's been the case in all 3 games so far during this preseason. It's knocked down the ice, and icing is called, and there'll be another offensive zone faceoff for CVCA. Face off to the right of Sagayak with 9:49 to go here in period number 2. Noah Chadima takes it for the Royals, and he wins it, skates in, and shoots and scores. Noah Chadima wins the face-off, skated right in, and beat the goaltender on the near side for the 2nd goal of the period, the 4th of the game. And that makes it Porter, Schwartzbeck, Siff, and Chadima. So once again, the Royals have 4 on the board so far, and the game is just approaching halfway. That's the thing about CVCA. I mean, they will certainly miss Jack Lamline and Luke Parada and Caden Ballard, but that first line of a year ago did most of the scoring, the majority of the scoring for the team, although the swarm line and the youngsters certainly got into the act and were an asset and helped the Royals get all the way to that Barron Cup final. But there's no one player for CVCA that the other teams will be able to key in on because all of these players can skate. All the sophomores, David Sippa Jr., Nick Humphrey, a senior, and then the defense is a pair of seniors as well in Mosher and Nichols, and then you got Wilford and Eli Parada, who will be back after he heals from his illness, and Carter Martin. The Royals are a sound hockey team early this season. 2-0 second period, 4-0 overall, and here's a chance for CVCA 2-on-1 if they hurry. With it, Schwartzbeck skates in, fires, knockdown, and a save by Sagayak. Schwartzbeck looking for his second of the day. $9:10 to go, period number 2. Once again, the gremlins in the clock camera. And we apologize for that. We'll call it the time and score. Shot by Mosher, deflected in front, knocked down. And the Redmen clear the zone. But CVCA's Nichols is on it, pokes it up into the neutral zone. Parma cannot control. There's a log jam at center ice, and it goes back to Zach Nichols. He's got some time. Fans on it, though. Nichols with it in his skates and finally digs it out. And now the Royals with a break. Nichols 3-on-2. They are onside. Nichols skates in and has it poke checked away. Shot on goal by Matthew Porter. Controlled behind the net and centering pass, no one there, off the stick of Humphrey. Here comes a breakout, a rare one for the Redmen. Shot is gloved aside by Carson Houck. Second shot, near side post. And Houck is on it once again, and the Royals clear where Victoria Wessel is on it. Wessel retreats, pokes it forward, looking for Justin Myers. Can't connect. Now Myers gets it and pushes it in deep. Knocked down for his efforts, and Caleb Mosher is on it. And a whistle blows. And a penalty is going to be called. The penalty box is open. Looks like the initial call is interference. The only question is on whom? And off the bench for CVCA comes Matthew Porter. And so they get Porter for interference, and the Redmen will go on the power play tonight for the first time. The Royals got 2 shorthanded goals on Tuesday night against Nordonia. Certainly expect the power play opportunity and power play team of the Redmen to be a bit better than the Knights. CVCA controls the faceoff, though. Martin pokes it up, and it's knocked up but kept in by Whistle, but only for a moment. Here comes Chidima. Chidima on a break. Chidima skates toward the goal, is skated off by Higginbotham. Still has the puck, though, in the far side corner. Pokes it around the far side. Chasing after it is Schwartzbeck. Gets to it, but he's got company, and the Royals still control it. Chidima sends it back in deep. Schwartzbeck and Wessel are on it, and now it's poked aside to Phillips. Phillips has it, and the Redmen try and break it out into the neutral zone, but collected by the Royals. Martin up ice and out of the zone where Wessel is on it for the Redmen. 1:17 to go on the power play for Parma. Into center ice, but to no one in particular. Carter Martin has it. It's poked up, and the Redmen gain the zone, but only for a moment, and CVCA clears, and back on it is the senior Victoria Wessel. She's got company, though. Chidima pestering her into the corner. Wessel pushes it around the near side boards, and the Redmen clear it out. Phillips pushes it in deep, but the Royals are on it. Nick Humphrey has it. Humphrey with company, and a big collision. Humphrey goes down. It's up, kept in. Nice play by Higginbotham, but it's now knocked down by CVCA and cleared down to the other end of the ice where Sagayak will play it. Baran looks up ice. They gain the zone, but a hard check by CVCA. Redmen still controlling, but Baran has company from 2 Royals. Nick Humphrey there, and the puck trickles around to the near side boards with 11 seconds to go on the penalty time. And CVCA clears, and a trip, and a power play coming for the Royals. Or is it? We got a slash, actually. It'll be another penalty against CVCA. And so Nick Humphrey, it looks like no better for his efforts. And he'll go into the box. They'll get Humphrey for slashing, as before he was tripped, he knocked the stick out of one of the Parma Redmen's hands. And so that is an easy call for any referee. And the Redmen power play will continue. Time of this penalty, 9 minutes and 2 seconds, 5:58 to go in period number 2. So the Redmen will have a face-off in the offensive zone. Cooper Davis will take it for Parma. Davis, a freshman. And it's dropped down, and he wins it to the near side. But Mark Mosher's on it for the Royals, clears around the boards, looking for Steigmeyer. He'll get to it first, and he'll clear it down the ice. Chidima on it, one-on-one for Chidima. He skates in, fires, and it's knocked down and covered by Segayak. The Royal speed showing once again as Noah Chidima forcing the Parma goaltender, Andrew Segayak, to make a shorthanded stop, and he'll have to defend a face-off to his right. Chidima, Steigmeyer, Mosher out there for CVCA, and on the far side, another shot on goal, another stoppage. On the far side is Zach Nichols, the defenseman, on the penalty kill. Redmen trail 2-0 in the second period, 4-0 overall. They control and knock it down the ice. Zach Nichols will chase it for CVCA. He's got a moment, looks and clears it down the ice. And it's tipped away. Chidima's on it once again. Chidima, like a gnat, fires, shot, save, second shot, save again by Steigmeyer. Segayak going to save Steigmeyer on that second shot. Nichols now has it, fans and tries to clear and does for the moment. And it'll go all the way down the ice where Segayak will have to play it. Chidima with pressure. Funny bounce, now controlled by Cooper Davis. Davis up ice, and it's going to be icing against the Redmen. So the power play right now frustrated as the Royals wreaking havoc on the penalty kill. Second straight power play for Parma, and they're just having trouble gaining the zone. Once again, these Redmen defeated Aurora 7-2, a white team, on Sunday. Defeated Kent Roosevelt 3-2 yesterday. They drop the face-off down, and the Royals push it back in deep once again. Halfway through this penalty to Nick Humphrey for slashing. 1 minute remaining. 4:56 to go here in period number 2. Redmen push it up, but again, no one there. And the whistle blows. Actually, inadvertent whistle maybe? Shot, save, and covered. And again, the puck is in the back of the net, and Carter Martin is like, lay off our goaltender after the whistle blows. Karsten Hauk covered the puck. Parma jumped on it after the whistle blew, and certainly a disagreement happening right here as Andrew Baran and the referee in a conversation. That's the second time that's happened. And so it remains 2-0. Face off to the right of Hauk. That play was set up on what appeared to be an inadvertent whistle. And so, but play continued, and it resulted in a shot on Karsten Hauk. 43 seconds to go on the power play for the Redmen. Royals win that face off and push it down the ice, and a save off the stick of Segayak. He sees David Siff coming his way until he'll cover with 35 seconds to go on the Humphrey penalty. 4:32 to go here in period number 2. First live stream of the year, third scrimmage of the year for CVCA and for Parma. Face off in the defensive zone for the Redmen. They win this one and push it up ice. And for the Royals, Wilford gives chase and gets to it first, reverses field and finds Matthew Porter out in front. Wilford gets it back and skates up, pushes it up to Siff, who watches it go by him into the corner. Porter's on it. He gets a shot off. Again, the Royals on the penalty kill, but Siff has it into the corner. Whistle chases him. 6 seconds left. Humphrey will be out of the box in just a moment. The Redmen push it around the near side boards and try and work out with it. Up ice it comes. Back to full strength. Humphrey on the ice and chases whistle. Higginbotham. There's the zone. Wilford pushes it in deep. And another whistle. And we'll see what the call is. The referee was in front of the Royals net who stopped play. And they're pointing to the near side corner. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in period number 2. And it looks like the referee on about 100 feet from the play seemed to indicate that might have gone out of play into the netting. So face off to the right of Houck. They drop it down. CVCA wins it, but can't control. In the corner, a battle ensues. Sharp angle shot is off the side of the net. Mark Mosher takes a big hit in the corner, and the Royals are able to clear Mosher back up. So we saw Parma in action last night, took in the game there, and the physicality is what Parma brings. And now the Royals with a shot off the post. Chidima, second shot high and out of play. Noah Chidima just missed another goal as it hit the far side post with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Two 2-0 Royals. Period number 2. First period was also 2-0, so it's technically 4-0 overall, CVCA. They win the faceoff. Nick Humphrey has it, takes his time, sets up, shoots, and a save by Segay. 3:05 to go, period number 2. Friday Night Hockey from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. Tim Nichols along with you. Sean Mosher on the pictures tonight and the technical everything. Got us on the air tonight, and we also had help from Kent Schwartzbeck as well. So that's the team bringing you the action tonight. Shot goes in on goal, and another save, and Humphrey evades Sagayak, the goaltender. The clock stops at 2:57 to go. Once again, the Royals back in action on Sunday afternoon here at the Dan against Avon as they drop the puck down. Steigmeyer has it between his skates, chases after it to the near side, collects it, leaves it for no one in particular, and Royals lose the zone. Martin, backhanded, up ice looking for Wilford, who dumps it in. Whistle is on it for the Redmen. Victoria whistle, round the boards to the far side, and kept in for a moment. Nope, outside, and so the Royals have to clear. Carter Martin pressuring. Parma controlling. Cross ice pass to the neutral zone, intercepted by CVCA's Sip, who gains his own. He's got Steigmeyer on the far side, looks for him. Steigmeyer has it, fires just over the crossbar. Collected on the far side by Louis Chavestek. And Wilford collects the loose puck in the corner, dumps it back. Knocked in deep. And onto it is David Krieger, the former CVCA Royal, getting a shift. David Krieger transferring back to his home district, but right now Chidima skates in, beats one man, shoots, and he scores! Noah Chidima finds the back of the net. Chidima scores for the Royals to make it 3-0 in period number 2 and 5-0 overall. Just walked over to Sean Mosher and said, Sean, do we have replay or not? It was kind of a hectic thing getting started tonight. We'll get that working later in the season, but that was a nice play by Noah Chidima to get the goal. Off the face-off, it's pushed in deep. Zach Nichols has it, stick handles, and has it poked away, and then lays the body. Nick Higginbotham with a shot, and scores! Nick Higginbotham, a famous name in Parma Redmen hockey, the Higginbotham family, and he breaks the scoreless drought for the Redmen with a shot from the left point that beat Karsten Houck on the near side, making it 3-1. Higginbotham, a senior and the captain of the Redmen this season. And the puck is up into the netting right down below us. And so a face-off will happen at the face-off dot in front of us. 1:28 to go here in period number 2. 3-1 CVCA in this period, 2-0 in the first period, 5-1 overall. None of it counts, but certainly it will count a week from Sunday when the Royals season starts in earnest. Minute 18 to go. Parma gains the zone, and the puck flutters to the left of Karsten Hauk. Now Chidima has it behind the net, pushes it around the boards, and it's unable to keep it in. Was Allison Callahan, and they dump it back in. CVC's on it with just under a minute to go. Mosher loses it. It's poked up into the neutral zone where Higginbotham has it once again. Higginbotham looks for a teammate. It's intercepted. Chidima has it. Chidima fires. Oh, he hits the post again. Zach Nichols will chase it back for CVCA with 40 seconds left. Around the boards, finds Humphrey. Humphrey tries to control. Loses it on the far side. It comes back to Nichols. Nichols will skate up with it. Nichols gains the zone. And offsides. Cord Stoudemire a little bit anxious. And was just a little too quick into the zone as Zach Nichols was on his horse. 28.1 seconds to go. And the Royals will have a face-off outside their zone in front of their bench. Royals change defense. Humphrey will take the face-off. He's got Siff to his right, Chidima on the far side. They drop it down, and CVCA controls. It's flipped up and into the zone, but no one there to control it. And then knocked out by Parma. They'll have a chance. Centering pass, shot, knocked aside. And the goaltender is just taken out. Karsten Hauk was just taken out. The puck is right in front of him. There's another scrum in front of him, and players are going all different directions as the clock winds out. And that'll do it on period number 2. Hauk puts his hands to the sky saying, you know, what's going on? But he's acquitted himself quite well, all things considered, today through 2 periods of play. The Royals win that second period 3-1. Won the first period 2-0. 5-1 overall. Once again, they will reset the clock and the scoreboard for period number 3, as are the rules in preseason scrimmages. So as we've hit intermission number 2, we want to tell you about the fall sports accomplishments of the various CVCA teams. But before we do that, we want to let you know that if you have an interest in Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy and understanding what makes CVCA unique, to consider the community that you'd like to be a part of, we invite you to experience CVCA and see what sets CVCA apart. You can visit the Royals website at www.cvcaroyals.org/experience-CVCA to see how CVCA continues to make an impact on our students, our parents, faculty, and our alumni. So once again, that website to find out more information about Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy is cvcaroyals.org/experience-CVCA. Once again, we mentioned that the fall calendar was a very full one for CVCA sports teams. The football team this year won their first share of a championship in the Principals Athletic Conference in 11 seasons. The Royals co-champions, they shared it with everybody. 5 different teams shared the championship, as it were, all going 5-2 in conference. An unusual circumstance. The last night it came down to an upset by the Orville Red Riders against Northwest, if I recall. Actually, it was Canton South who beat Northwest. Orville had upset Canton South the week before, and CVCA the week before that, and on it went in round-robin play. But 5 teams finished with 5-2 records. The Royals finished the season at 7-4 overall, 7-3 in the regular season. Their 4 losses this season were by a combined total of 10 points. So the Royals 10 points away from being undefeated. Instead, 7-4. Co-champions of the Principals Athletic Conference. Kyle Snyder for CVCA became the second CVCA player ever to rush for more than 5,000 yards in a career. Snyder may be a better wrestler than he is a football player, which is saying something, and he signed his national letter of intent 2 days ago to wrestle with a full scholarship at Kent State University, where he will matriculate next fall. But before then, he's got a whole wrestling season to go through, and he is the former state champion in the 215-pound bracket during his sophomore year, and Snyder currently the 9th ranked wrestler in the entire country in his weight class amongst all high school wrestlers in the United States. Boys soccer had a great season. They had multiple teams. The top team finished the season at 17 wins and 3 losses, and bowed out of the state tournament last Saturday afternoon in a regional final game against Howland, a game that took place at Twinsburg High School. Final score in that game was 2-1, but certainly despite the outcome not being what the team wanted or the community wanted, it does not diminish an absolutely fantastic season and the longest run in the state tournament in a number of years for CVCA's soccer program. 17-3 regional finalists this season for CVCA soccer. The boys golf team finished second in the pack this season and 5th in the district. And senior Aiden Cadone represented CVCA at the Division II OHSAA state tournament at the Scarlet course at Ohio State University earlier last month. Aiden finished with a score of 167 in 2 days and was 25th overall in Division II. The cross-country teams also had another banner year, as they seem to do every year at CVCA. The CVCA cross-country teams competed last Saturday at the OHSAA State Championship at Fortress Obetz in Columbus. Boys team ran as a team after their 5th place finish in the regional meet qualified the entire team for states. 2 of the Royals girls represented CVCA as individuals in the Division II race. Once again, the girls team won the Principals Athletic Conference Championship this year, as they have done every single season that CVCA has been in the pack. That's over 20 straight years winning pack championships. At Fortress Obetz last week, the men's team or the boys team had to battle the wind and the field to cap off what did prove to be an outstanding season all around. Team scored 199 points last weekend and finished 5th place in the state in Division II. That's the 2nd highest finish ever for a CVCA boys team in the state tournament. Jack Curtis led the way for the Royals with a finish of 29th overall in the state. On the girls' side, again, 2 of the individuals for the girls cross-country team qualified for states, and Jana Cooley finished 43rd overall, and Kayla Ritzman finished 50th in the state for CVCA, so well done to both of them. Girls volleyball finished the season at 16-9, and Hallie Hendricks was named first team All-Pac. In girls tennis, Joyce Sapples, Skylar Wood competed as doubles, and Amy Beebe in singles at the Northeast Ohio District 2 tournament this fall. And while all 3 competitors fell in the opening round, they did compete fiercely and have shown a ton of improvement this season. All 3 district qualifiers are set to return next season for CVCA, looking to come back even stronger. As a team, the girls tennis team finished the season with a record of 10 wins and 9 losses. Girls soccer finished the season 11 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties this year, and recorded a 3rd place finish in the Principals Athletic Conference. All Pac first team honors were doled out to Hannah Coons and Kara Raymer for girls soccer this season. And in girls golf, it was a struggle this season. The girls golf team finished the year at 3-8, 3 wins, 8 losses in matches this year. But in OHSAA sectional tournament action, the Royals played at Punderson Golf Course at the Division II level and finished that event in 13th place. The CVCA girls golf team was led this year by Morgan Joy, a name you may recall. Morgan is a member of the Royals hockey team as well. Morgan led the team with a score of 107 in that match. Unfortunately, we want to give a shout out to Morgan, who is not with the team tonight. In her first shift of the season, literally 2 minutes into the Royals season last week, Morgan took an awkward fall here at the Dan Kostel Rec Center and sustained a severe lower body injury that is going to shelf her for the entire season. Sadly, she underwent surgery to repair the damage earlier this week and is recovering from that. She'll be along the ride, I'm sure, for the Royals as they compete this year, cheering on her teammates on the hockey team. Morgan holds the record as the first and only female to ever score for CVCA. She recorded goals both her freshman year and sophomore year, so she will certainly be missed as a member of the Royals hockey team in playing action this year, but Morgan's still a member overall. She was out earlier this week at the Nordonia game on her crutches, and we look forward to seeing Morgan and wish her the best of luck in her recovery from her injury that occurred last week. So, we are winding down during the second intermission. Once again, my name is Tim Nichols, and we're glad that you are with us tonight for the first live stream of the CVCA hockey season. I like to sometimes refer to our production here as 2 cans and a string productions. We make it work, and we got on the air tonight. Thank you, as always, to Ben Miller at CVCA, the Sports Information Director, and John Young for allowing us to do this on behalf of the Royals community. And we will certainly work to try and get things cleaned up and set up. We've got to reach out to our supplier on the graphics package, as the package was updated during the off-season. And there are some bugs in it, as we discovered as we tried to set up tonight. It works for football fine, and we did use it if you tuned into CVCA football coverage. But the hockey program with some gremlins, and so we've got the scoreboard clock up on a clock. We punted and got that up for you. Obviously, that's had a few issues tonight, but we can try to keep it refreshed for you. And we'll go with that if we have to for the early part of the season until we can get that repaired and fixed. And we hope you join us. So once again, we will be on the air on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock when CVCA plays Avon here at the Dan Kostel Rec Center. And then you can follow us on social media at CVCA Livestream. It's the same handle on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And we'll update you always on the broadcast schedule. Teams making their way back into their respective benches. The Royals scored 2 goals in the first period. First one was Jacob Schwartzbeck, and the second one was Matthew Porter. In the second period, David Siff got a goal. Parma Redmen. Parma's in action again tomorrow, where they meet up with Chagrin Falls. And so that'll be another score to watch and pay attention to as you try and get a sense for the relative strength of each of these teams as they repurpose themselves with new members and old teammates now graduated. The Royals now with at least 5 goals in each of their first 3 contests. They've got a period left to go. 6 goals last week against Elyria Catholic, 16 goals against Nordonia, and 5 more through 2 periods today. So if my math holds, it's 27 goals in less than 3 games for CVCA. And you wondered, Elyria Catholic, certainly they played in the Blue South last year. Nordonia certainly not as strong as other teams, but today Parma, granted without Caleb Borowski, and that was a difference maker, but Parma also struggling against CVCA's pressure today. So back underway, third period, Royals going right to left, and here we go. The Redmen try and build out of their defensive zone, and Zach Nichols is going to take a penalty. A huge hit. And a stoppage as Nichols will go to the box. 20 seconds into period number 3. And we'll wait on the call. See the call? What'd they get it for? So it's an illegal check, perhaps, or roughing for Zach Nichols. The puck had already gone by, and so the check came late, and he'll sit for 2 minutes. Once again, the Royals clear, and first of the puck is Schwartzbeck. Again, another penalty to kill for CVCA. Chidima has it, and it's knocked away by Phillips. Kyle Phillips across the blue line. Rubbed off the puck by Mark Mosher. Mosher sends it around the boards looking for Schwartzbeck. He can't clear. Martin battles. Victoria whistle without a stick. Mosher can't clear the zone still, but he's back after it. Mosher and an alternate captain for CVCA this year. David Siff, the other alternate captain for the Royals. And still Parma with their best pressure on a power play so far today. Near side boards, the puck trickles and collected by Chidima, who finally clears it down with a minute to go on the Zach Nichols penalty. Segaik will set it up. The Royals get a change. Up ice it comes and misplayed by number 14, Andrew Lane, and the Royals clear it back down into the... And Whistle will chase it. Around the boards it goes. Parma will try and build out, but it's poke checked away. And David Siff will collect it from his goaltender, Hauk, and sends it down and clears it for CVCA. 13:10 to go, third period. Nick Humphrey with the pressure in the corner. Humphrey and Higginbotham wrestle. Higginbotham loses it, and the Royals clear it once again. Off the state of Whistle, collected by Outward. Outward centers, and nobody there. And so the Redmen will try and build up. Check that. They'll fire it on net. Higginbotham played by Hauk. Stiff has it. Stiff pokes it up to Humphrey, and he clears. And the penalty time is up for Nichols, who heads to the bench. And CVCA is back at full strength with a full change. That should have been offsides. It's a goal, and that goal should not count. Matthew Porter with the goal. CVCA was offsides in that play. The referees missed it. Sometimes you got to be lucky instead of being good, and Matthew Porter gets a goal in what was a blatantly offsides play. The Royals, trying to clear the zone, had a player that was down by the face-off dot skating out. Porter skated in, and they're going to count it. All right, so we're getting a corrected call here. The correction is that the puck never came out of the zone. Another shot on goal. And so because it never came out of the zone, the Royals were not offsides. And that's why it was a good goal. So it looked like an absolutely offsides play, but because the puck had not cleared the zone, Porter skated in, fired on Segag, and scored. So the goal counts. It's 1-0 CVCA. Another shot. And another goal. Floodgates opening for the Royals. Cord Steigmeyer. And a dog pile ensues in the celebration. 2 goals in a matter of seconds for the Royals. 2-0. Third period. 7-1 overall. So the Royals change up once again. And we await Noah Chidima to try and fix his helmet. Gets the strap buttoned up, and they drop the puck down. Zach Nichols will chase after it for CVCA. Up ice, looking for Schwartzbeck. Found him, but Schwartzbeck couldn't contain it, so now Chidima. Cross ice, Nichols. Schwartzbeck once again. Nice passing for the Royals. Shot, score! Jacob Schwartzbeck fired on Sagayak, and that one won or beat Sagayak at 5-hole, and 3 goals in a matter of about 40 seconds for CVCA to start this third period. Andrew Sagaic has seen a flurry of activity all day today, and coming out here, saves one there as he faces another shot. Parma missing Borowski, who certainly would make a difference, but the last 2 goals certainly were goals that could be saved. As the Royals extending the bench now, freshman Joey Decker getting a shift, number 22. Wessel gains his own for Parma, fires a shot that goes wide. CVCA is on it, and look out to the referee. High shot, and a return shot goes in and hits Carter Martin, who's bent over in a little bit of pain, and a stoppage. So first, the referee took a hard shot on the near side, and then a return shot got a piece of Carter Martin, and both of them are wincing in pain here as Martin heads to the bench, and the referee shaking off the left wrist. The dangers of being out on the ice, and hopefully that wrist is going to be okay. He continues onward, certainly. It's cold in here, as it is in most ice rinks, and that's going to smart later on tonight. We're ready to go. The face-off to the right of Houck, controlled by CVCA. 2-on-3. Up ice come the Royals. Sif had it. Got it poke-checked away. And finally, Parma controls and clears the zone. Mark Mosher tips it in. It's controlled by Wessel. Wessel, up ice, finds a teammate. That teammate was Louis Shavestik. He's rubbed off the puck, but it's still in. Controlled by Nolan Sandy. Pushes it into the corner. Zach Nichols has it. Dumps it around the boards. Finds a teammate, and up ice it comes to Nick Humphrey. Humphrey gains the zone. Steigmeyer waits to be onside. He's had a little trouble with that. Centering pass off Steigmeyer's stick. To the far side, it trickles. Dumps it back into Humphrey in the corner. He pushes it back looking for Sif. But it comes out. Whistle with it. Whistle with some speed. Dumps it in deep. And she'll chase it. But Zach Nichols will get to it first. Around the boards quickly looking for Steigmeyer. He's on it. Steigmeyer has it. Cord. Gets going. Heads up ice. Gains the zone. Still has it on his stick. Steigmeyer. Oh my goodness. Into the boards hard. Moving, and he looks like he's going to be okay. He was leveled into the boards by Kyle Phillips, who fell down on him, and Cord back down to one knee. Both players shaken up. Steigmeyer sitting down, and Phillips might have gotten the worst of that, but it's surprising since he was on top. He is moving as well. And Kyle Phillips and Cord Steigmeyer. Cord still bent over, sitting on his bottom. Steigmeyer holding his wrist. That could be a bad development for CVCA. Zach Nichols and the coaching staff, Rich Hurdle, out there to help him. And Cord will skate off under his own power, as will Kyle Phillips, the senior. As we look at Cord, Zach Nichols helping Coach Hurdle back to the ice, or back to the bench. And Phillips back to the bench for Parma. That all occurred with 10 minutes and 7 seconds to go. And they're going to get a 5-minute major on Kyle Phillips for a check from behind against Steigmeyer. And that was a dangerous play, and we're just fortunate in this instance that both players were able to skate off the ice. So 5-minute major against Phillips. The Royals will have a 5-minute power play, and we'll see if they can get a power play goal. It's about the only thing they have not gotten in the last 2 games. Shot, post. Schwartzbeck almost got it right there. Oh, and a big hit. As it goes down the ice, Mark Mosher chases after it. He's got pressure. Mosher with pressure from Parma. And it's poked up, and now the Royals break out. Into the zone comes CVCA. Backhanded shot by Outward. Outward gets it to Chidima. It trickles back and cleared out by the Redmen. Carter Martin dumps, and it's gloved down by Parma, who will clear all the way down. 4:15 to go on the 5-minute major to Phillips. Martin pokes it off the boards, outward. Cross ice, finds a teammate. It's Chidima. Chidima fires, wide it goes. Nick Higginbotham there. Higginbotham can't get it. It's centered and cleared. Down the ice it goes. Royals push it up once again. Sticked in by Schwartzbeck. Behind the net, Parma controlling, and they clear it once again. As we said, the Royals' power play is the thing that needs work so far this season. They've got another chance here, but they are struggling to break it out of their zone. Now Chidima has it on his stick, and he'll skate up ice. Long pass finds Schwartzbeck. Schwartzbeck gains the zone. Cross ice pass was looking for Humphrey. Humphrey now has it off the boards, goes up, and Martin drives to try and keep it in, but cannot. Humphrey's back on it. Turns forward, and a huge hit by number 9, Andrew Baran, on 2 of the Royals. And it's knocked back down the ice with 3:07 to go in the power play time. Wilford pushes it up. The Royals finally get it in control and will push it up once again and try and break out. Look out. Evasive maneuver right there by CVCA as another Royal heads the bench, bent over. The Royals up on the scoreboard, but the physicality of Parma taking or having impact right now. Royals unable to set up on the power play here. Now Siff into the zone, driving, shoots wide. Far side, Matthew Porter has it up to the point. Wilford fires, and it's gloved down. And bodies go flying once again as Andrew Sagaic has the puck in his glove. Halfway through the penalty time to Kyle Phillips. 2 minutes, 29 seconds left to go. 7:35 to go here in the third period. Royals got 3 goals in about 40 seconds in the 3rd minute of the period. But they've yet to be able to have any kind of sustained pressure on the power play. We noted that the other night against Nordonia. We're noting it again tonight here against Parma. So with 7:35 to go, 2:29 to go on the penalty time. They send out Chidima. Outward. Royals win it back to Zach Nichols. He fires. It's high off the glass on the far side. And a stoppage. And they're going to take it out of the zone. Maybe a play with a high stick, perhaps. Not sure why, but nevertheless, it'll be a defensive zone face-off for the Royals. And we're saying Chidima, Outward, Schwartzbeck, Nichols, and Mark Mosher for CVCA. Face-off to the left of Karsten Hauk. It's poked up and out of the zone. Collected at center ice and sent back in by the Redmen. Mosher will chase it. It's got pressure. Timothy Hollow. And now comes CVCA up ice. Mosher with some speed into the zone. Mark Mosher fires, and he hits iron. It's the 4th time the Royals have hit iron this afternoon. They've already got 7 goals and 4 off posts. Redmen clear once again. Zach Nichols will chase after it. Did I say 7 goals? 8 goals. 8 goals and 4 posts. Onside of the Royals. Chidima. Cross ice. Shot wide by Schwartzbeck. And the Redmen clear. Zach Nichols at center ice. Nichols will skate in with it. Poke check. Shot. Gets a shot off. It's just wide of Sagaic. Up to the point. Kept in by Mosher. Fires. Knocked down in front. And it trickles back in towards Sagaic, who covers it with 1:19 to go on the penalty time. The 5-minute measure for a check from behind. Getting a look at the still shot of the penalty on Kyle Phillips, and it's not pretty. Again, glad both players are okay on that dangerous play. The Redmen clear it down the ice again, and Carter Martin is first to it for the Royals with 1:09 to go. Up ice it goes. Nick Humphrey has it. Humphrey gains the zone, skates into the circles, trickles a shot in. It's wide of the goaltender. And chasing after it is David Siff, who's got control. Siff centers, shot, and Humphrey's shot is stick to side of the near side corner. Redmen try and clear. They do for the moment. Down ice it floats. Siff gets a pass. Looks up. Pushes it forward. Decker tries to play it. Does. Pushes it forward and now loses it. And it's pushed in by Justin Sagaic. Wilford up ice, but no one there. And Nick Higginbotham playing defense today. We'll clear it down the ice. 16 seconds to go. And a shot off the boards, a crazy ricochet, and paying attention was Karsten Hauk, who made a save. Royals gain the zone once again, but for the final time, it's cleared down the ice, and that'll do it on the penalty time to Phillips, who's out of the box and will rejoin the action 5-on-5. We're down to 5 minutes to go here in the contest. Royals up 3-0 here in the third period, and having won, or at least leading all 3 periods so far today. 8 goals for CVCA, just 1 for the Redmen. Up ice it goes, and it's going to go through no one, or to no one, through everyone, and icing on CVCA with 4:47 to go. Once again, the Royals in action on Sunday afternoon here from the Dan Kostel Rec Center in a game against Avon. The Redmen resume festivities tomorrow in a game. Final scrimmage for both teams, that game against Chagrin Falls. Face off to the left of Karsten Hauk. Around the boards, it's sent, but cut off by Carmen Zerny. The left point shot is knocked down. It was sent in by Allison Callahan. Callahan gets it again, kicks it to herself, shoots, and it's knocked down in front. Zach Nichols pokes it up and out of the zone. Schwartzbeck has it, 3-on-1 if the Royals hurry. Schwartzbeck skates in, shoots, wide. Gets it again, centers. Chidima kicks it to himself, and it's knocked aside and cleared the zone. Zach Nichols will chase. He's to it first. He's got company by Zerny. Runs himself into the boards and loses the puck. The shot is kicked aside by Karsten Hauk. Victoria Whistle keeps the zone, but the Royals are on it. Cross ice pass comes to Humphrey. Humphrey has it in the zone. Skating, shoots, and stick save by the goaltender, Sagaic. Clock stops with 3:53 to go. CVCA, impressive once again today. Face-off is dropped down. Controlled by the Redmen. Out to the neutral ice area and pushed back in by Carter Martin. Callahan off the boards. Martin has it. Fires. Shot. Chipped in front. Siff tipped that one. Martin came back to him. Fires it. And a save by Sagaic to the near corner. Siff has it once again. Circles. Siff. Pushed off, and Martin gets a third chance. Gloved into the corner by Sagaic. And collecting it is Michael Otto. He'll push out. Back checking, but Otto pushes it in deep. Wilford checks, gets to it, and pushes it to Humphrey. He loses it to Otto. Otto up to the point, but they can't keep it in. Down the ice it goes, and Callahan will chase after it for the Redmen with 3:06 to go. To the neutral zone, CVCA has it. And they are offside as Nick Humphrey had not yet cleared the zone when it was brought back in by sophomore Jared Outward. Clock has moved under the 3-minute mark. 2:57 to go here from the Dan Kostel Rec Center. CVCA up 3-0 in the third period. They won the first period 2-0 and the second period 3-1. So overall 8-1. The Royals on top today. Zach Nichols cross ice looking for Mosher. Mosher pokes it ahead and the Royals clear the zone. Decker can't handle and it dumps back in, or it is dumped back in by Parma. Nichols again retreats. 2.5 to go. Looks for Decker. He has it and Decker loses it. The shot is poked in again behind the goaltender Houck. Sandy pushed it in deep. Mosher giving chase. It's pushed forward but kept in once again. But Mo fanned on it and now the Royals with a chance. 1-on-1. Shot saved by Sagaic. Once again collected by Outward. He skates in, shoots, and it's over the goal. And on the far side, Andrew Lane has it. Lane. Back check and Chadima hit by Sandy. Stick goes flying and with the puck now, shot. Deflected in on Karsten Houck from Andrew Lane. Houck makes the save and we're down to 1:57 to go before you get to continue with the rest of your Friday night festivities. We're glad you've joined us though here for the third of 4 scrimmages on the preseason, the first live stream of the season for CVCA hockey. Face off to the left of Karsten Houck. Won by the Redmen, a shot save by Houck right off the face-off. Shot there by number 9, Andrew Baran. Here comes another one and another save off the glove of Houck into the near side corner. Martin around the boards, looking, funny bounce. He's looking for Sif. And Wilford is leveled. But CVCA with another chance. Sif has it. And Sif is taken down. No call. And, Matthew Porter puts an arm around. I think that might have been one of the number 17, Timothy Hollow. He came together with Hollow. They both went down to the ground. Certainly unintentional. And there's a penalty on the board. But 5 out there, so I think that's an inadvertent penalty up there. Mark Mosher's on the board. Actually, it's number 9. And it is on the board. Royals on a power play. Penalty to Andrew Baran for that shot in the center of the ice on, I believe it was David Sif. So he'll sit for the rest of the game. Royals have a power play unless they can score for the final minute and 10 seconds to go. Parma clears the zone. It's pushed back up and in. CVCA has it. Outward is dumped. He falls. Sharp angle shot by Chadima. He gets it back. Penalty being called. So there's another penalty coming up against Parma. Shot is in deep and into the rafters. And a trip is the call. And the Royals will have 5-on-3 for the final 47.2 seconds. The tripping call against Justin Sagaic. Already in the box is Andrew Baran. And so the CVCA with a 47-second 5-on-3. More whistles. Not sure why, but we'll do it again. Actually, the reason was the Redmen had 4 players out there with 2 in the box. You can't do that, and so rather than another penalty, they just gave the opportunity to get 1 off the ice. So 5-on-3 for CVCA. In the corner, Higginbotham battles with Humphrey. They both go to the ice. And CVCA digs it out with 27 seconds left. Cross ice, Zach Nichols shot wide. And it's poked up and out. 17 seconds to go. Royals with one final chance. Mark Mosher shot and a save for Sagaic with 10.5 to go. And maybe one more opportunity for CVCA. One more defensive zone faceoff for the Redmen before we put this one to bed for today. CVCA up 3-0. 3 goals in 40 seconds early on in the third period. Once again, 3-1 in the second period, 2-0 in the first period. They win the faceoff. Shot is in deep and poked wide. Up to the point one more time. Wilford sends it in. It goes wide, and that's going to do it. The buzzer sounds, and the Royals head down to celebrate with their goaltender, senior Karsten Hauk. A dominating performance this evening for CVCA. 8 goals in the 3 periods. They win all 3 periods. 2-0, 3-1, and 3-0. And these teams will see each other again during the regular